Yeah, it probably doesn't make as much difference as what I thought. The group's been really good, particularly over the last 3 weeks, and the way they've attacked training. So the level of training hasn't changed. It's just the reward for effort that they put in. So straight after the game, there was that feeling of ovation that we've been sort of craving, and they got that to deserve. So it hasn't actually changed the way we prepared. Probably just does give the group a bit more confidence that we are on the right path.
Now that you've gotten the monkey off the back, does your season really start here? Do you think you can get all 4 points on the board?
Yeah, definitely. And straight away we come up against a really big challenge in Melbourne, who I think have got the best list in the competition. So it's a really good challenge. And now that we've got that win, at least we're not just searching for that, like you said, the monkey off the back. And we had probably our best session for the year here on Wednesday night. So that gives us confidence going in. And we know that we're going to have to play well to challenge a team like Melbourne.
They have so many threats across the park. Do you have plans for specific players, or is it a team approach?
Yeah, like you said, because there's so many, it's a real team approach. Like last year, they'd made the grand final. I don't think they had anyone in the top 10 in the Coaches Association vote. So it's not like you can say with a couple of other teams, if we take out one or two players, then we're going to be fine. It's not like that with Melbourne. So we have to go with the team first strategy and play really good football ourselves.
And Taylor Harris has gotten a hold of you guys the past few times you've played them. How important are Janelle and Emma down there, down back?
Yeah, so Janelle played really well against Taylor Harris when she was at Carlton. Had a really good game that day. And then she didn't play on it, obviously, last year. So that'll be the obvious matchup, and I think it'll be worth price of admission alone to watch those two go at it. Taylor's in really good form. Her game against Carlton was outstanding, and probably she didn't play against Brisbane the week before, which could have been the difference in the result. So it's a really big challenge for Janelle, and it probably comes down to also the fact that we need to cut the supply to her, and particularly the really good supply that players like Hanks and that can deliver to her to help out Janelle and make sure the ball's coming in a little bit dirty so that she can do her thing.
How do you think Janelle's form is tracking? Because she obviously had a setback in that round one game against Brisbane after the horrific facial injury earlier in the year as well.
Yeah, and I think for her first game back, she was just feeling her way into it. And last week, she was probably a little bit rusty, well, not rusty, but early on with Bartlett, just made a couple of slight positioning errors. And then after that, I thought she was really, her last 2.5 quarters, we're back to what we expect from Janelle and what we love. So she just gives our whole group confidence when she's out there, and her form is building as well. We're not expecting her to be at her best this week, but she's got a big job to do, and she'll be looking forward to that.
And just on Emma as well, she's been tracking upwards for a while now, but she seems to have really taken a massive step this season.
Yeah, with Emma, it's probably a belief that she sort of belongs at this level and is not just an okay player, but that she's a really, really good player. So she was late to football, come from a netball background. Obviously, her kicking skills to start with were a long way off the level, and Emma was very conscious of that. She's worked really hard at that, and she's now got great depth in her kick, and is a really good kick for us as well. But she's just such a competitor, and obviously she's got some height, but she's got elite speed as well, which makes her very valuable for us.
It's not often you probably go into a game like this against Melbourne or any other top team ranked an outsider, an underdog. Do you think that gives you guys a bit of, let's stick it up and mentality?
Yeah, it could do. I think it's probably fair enough with what we've produced so far this season. So we're not in denial. Particularly our first two games were well below par. So it's not a surprise that we're big outsiders. And sometimes there can be that stick it up the mentality, but I don't think the group's got that moment. We're just on a path of improvement, and we want to prove to ourselves and our supporters where we're at, and we can challenge a side like Melbourne. So that's what we're looking forward to the most.
The 10-day break, how has that been after a rough start?
Yeah, it's been great because so far we've had 2 6-day breaks and a 5-day break, which isn't ideal when you're trying to improve and implement things. So to have this 10-day break has been fantastic. It meant the girls could have a little break over the weekend where they could mentally refresh and then come in, and we could have a really good week of training. We have the train-ons down here on Wednesday night who've been a really big help in us improving as a team, and also for those individuals to improve as players as well. And to have them down and have a really good hit out Wednesday, we go into this game probably better prepared than we have been all year.
Where's Cara at with her hamstring?
She's she's back running and doing a little bit of kicking. It's a long process because it was a really significant hamstring injury. So she's tracking along all right. It's very much up in the air whether she will make it back this year or not, but she's ticking her boxes at the moment. There hasn't been any setbacks.
Do you think she'll play on if she doesn't get the chance to get out there on the park this year?
Yeah, it's a good question. That's not for me, and I'm not even sure Cara's contemplated it either. So there's no rush with those decisions at all, and Cara will have a big say in that when we get towards the end, back half of the year.
And Ebony as well, 3 to 5 weeks from returning.
Yeah, we're really hopeful that she'll be available for the Collingwood game. So her rehab's tracking really well. She can't have any setbacks to be available for that game, but no, she's tracking really well. She's now moving well, a little bit of change of direction and some skill work as well. So she's looking really good. It's been great for Ebony to go through the rehab journey with Cara. Ebony's professional, but Cara's next level professional. So they've dragged each other along. So that's been good for them.
Trent, a couple of tough games in a row. Is it hard to just concentrate on this one and not look too far ahead?
No, it's not. I know we've got the next 3 weeks we've got 3 top 4 sides. So I watched Adelaide last week, and so we're going to have a short turnaround. So we have to have a little bit of planning in place for them before this weekend. But yeah, we've been really focused on Melbourne. The players, I haven't heard them take their eye off the ball, and Melbourne's all we're talking about, and our training this week has all been about that. So like we said, we're really looking forward to that challenge.
Oh, and just on Sabrina Duffy as well, potentially returning back to WA to play against her former side. Does it give you a bit of a better insight into how to defend her if she does get on top?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. She's very hard to defend, Sabrina, and our players will know that from training against her. But they do know what she does and doesn't like, probably, from training against her. So it'll be an important matchup, but like we said before, they've got so many good players, we can't focus on Sabrina Duffy, because if we do, you've got Daisy Pearce, Kate Hoare, in that forward line, Casey Sheriff, and they had an amazing year as well. So it'll probably be a lot of different players go to Sabrina, because we won't have the luxury of just getting someone to lock down on her at this stage.